Welcome to episode 3 of Captain Rick's Picks. As you'll recall, in episodes 1 and 2, we featured Phillipsburg, the shopping district in the island of St. Maarten, and for this edition, we move on to the areas of Simpson Bay and Coal Bay, which are pretty much the center hub of everything when it comes to entertainment, marinas, and associated facilities. St. Maarten has over 400 bars and restaurants, and a good portion of them are right here at this end of the island. In addition, if you're coming in by sea, this is also where you're going to bring the boat to get anything fixed, buy parts, get services, and anything else you need. This is where I spend a majority of my time when in St. Maarten for obvious reasons, so we've got a lot to cover. So I'm going to start with the marine side of things. If you're coming into Simpson Bay on a private boat, there's one major thing you really need to know. If you look at this view of the bay, you'll notice a very large and very well-defined reef that separates the entire anchorage from the beach. This reef is on the charts, but the mistake some sailors make is coming in too close and dropping anchor. What happens is when the wind gets light, sometimes it will reverse and you'll get a slight land breeze which will turn the boats around and back them up on the reef. Some of you will remember back to our original episode of Just Another Day in Paradise, which is the refit of Sophisticated Lady. We had a shark bite in our rudder, and that shark bite came from this reef right here. Turning our attention back towards the beach, the next thing you'll want to know about is where you can dock your dinghy if you're at anchor. As you can see in the corner of the bay, there's a dinghy dock right here beside the resort. Just make sure that your dock line is well secured and long enough to let the dinghy run free in case there's any swell running. Here you'll have access to the beach and all the restaurants in the area, including one of my favorites on the island, Buccaneer Beach Bar. Buccaneers has long been a favorite place to gather with friends at happy hour and watch a beautiful sunset over the Caribbean Sea. They have live entertainment practically every night of the week, serve up some of the best hamburgers and pizzas on the island, and have lots of attractions like full moon parties and even a fireball on the beach to chill by. Right beside Buccaneers, behind the dinghy dock we mentioned earlier, you'll find a kiosk for a new business called Sea Fund Watersports. These guys have a lot of cool stuff, and they even give instructions on flyboards and hoverboards, anything from beginner to advanced. And if you're lucky enough to be there at the right time, you might see the owner Jonathan out doing some of his stunts. Moving a little further back down the beach, you'll find a place that's going to be missed by many, including myself, La Bombas. La Bombas has been here since I can remember and is always host to my favorite thing on Tuesday nights, which is Latin dancing night. I say used to be because as you can see now, La Bombas is gone. Apparently there was a dispute over the land and the government won. If there was one good thing came out of it all, it was that a brand new place just across the street did a superb job picking up the venue. The Harbour Restaurant just opened in October 2015, but hosts quite a variety of environments all under one roof. They've got an outdoor dining area, followed by a sports bar. Past the sports bar, you'll find a bandstand and a dance floor, where they host all kinds of private parties and special events. And past that, you'll find an open-air bar and dining area, with menu encompassing anything from European to North American. But lest we forget my favorite event at the Harbour, Latin Tuesdays. Heading back across the beach and down the Pelican Key side of Simpson Bay, you'll find the next cool place. They're called Aqua Mania, and that's their docks right there. Whether you're sea-based or land-based, they've got something for everybody. They pretty much epitomize the word fun. They have a myriad of boats in all categories and offer excursions all over St. Maarten and neighboring Anguilla. You can do day sails, snorkel tours, scuba diving, dinghy tours, sunset cruises, dinner cruises, anything your heart desires, you can find it right here and all under one roof. And as you can see, we've been having our own share of fun with Aqua Mania. And on top of all that, they offer a fast ferry service that'll take you on day trips over to St. Bart's to enjoy a day of culinary treats and some upscale shopping. And if you're looking for something a little more dramatic, the same ferry will take you over to the majestic Saba, where you can find all the adventure you can stand. I don't know about you, but after a day with these guys, I'm ready to party. And the best place for that is right across the street at the Red Piano, an after-hours piano bar. I think my first time at the Red Piano was back in 2010, and from what I remember, we had a little bit too much fun, and I ended up getting rolled home to the boat in a wheelbarrow. But that's another story. They've got live entertainment and music and bands every single night of the week, so definitely worth a stop. Next favorite for this area would definitely have to be Toppers by the Sea. This is a cool bar restaurant right down on the beach, right at the end of Pelican Key. This place is not to be missed by you seafood lovers. They've got a great lobster night with one of the best sunset views anywhere on the island. Topper himself is an award-winning chef and has another successful restaurant right over on the roadside in the heart of Simpson Bay. I've gotten to know Topper and his wife Melanie quite well over the past while, but since I learned they had their own brand of rum, well, that made them my new best friend.
My family's been in the restaurant business since 1890, so it's well over a century of culinary learning. We're not afraid, Melanie and I, to try any food to see what we think of it, to try concocting it ourselves, ergo the essence of the flavor of the rum.
So the rum started off as just a hobby. We always made a lot of rum in our house, just for fun, for our friends. We like to entertain a lot. So when we opened our first restaurant, Topper's Restaurant and Bar, Topper said to me, hey, can you make some of that rum so that I can give it away to our guests after their dinner?
I served the rum to a customer as gratification for their patronage to the restaurant. They said, can I buy the rum? And I said, no, it's not for sale. It's our gift to you. And finally I said to Melanie, because they asked me every single night, at least 10 times a night. I said to Melanie one day, Melanie, can you make a bottle of that? I bring it down, the same thing as every night. Can I buy it? And I said to the guy, yeah. He said, I'll take 2. I said, yes.
So we went from making it in our kitchen at home to a 6,000 square foot facility, which is now Topper's Rum Distillery. We've been entered in many competitions, and every single one we've come out with medals, usually the gold medal. This year we started doing tours of our distillery, which people are really enjoying. It's a lot of fun. You get an opportunity to learn a little bit about rum making in the Caribbean, how we make our rum, how we bottle our rum, and then at the end of the tour you have an opportunity to try all of our rum products, as well as you can bottle your own to take home.
Did she just say bottle and take home your own rum? Well, I guess you could say we did just that. Got rum? One thing you'll notice about Simpson Bay is it's also host to several large resorts. Now, I don't profess to know much about the resorts because I don't stay there, but I have 2 good friends, Carlos and Jackie, that know everything about all the resorts, and they maintain a website called CaribbeanWeeks.com, and you can go there anytime you're looking for a short-term stay. They seem to get all the last-minute sell-offs from all the resorts, so they'll always have a good selection for you. As you come back across Simpson Bay towards the Simpson Bay Resort there on the right, you'll see the channel just behind it, which leads to the bridge. And that's the next thing you'll have to deal with as a boat coming into the lagoon. This bridge opens 7 times per day on a set schedule during the high season, but it does vary from season to season, so your best bet is actually to call the bridge controller on channel 12 on VHF, and he'll tell you when your next inbound and outbound schedules are. But if you happen to own one of these bad boys and don't really want to rush to meet the regular schedule, they'll open the bridge pretty much any time you want for a mere $1,000, and you can come and go at your own pace. even here when the late Steve Jobs' yacht Venus came through the bridge, and that was quite a sight. This is quite a yacht and very unique in its appearance, but whether you love it or hate it, you have to admit it stands out from the pack. If you're riding in one of these babies, then the Yacht Club at Ile de Sol here in St. Martin is definitely the place to be. If, however, you're running a little more conservative like we are in Sophisticated Lady, don't worry, we've got some options coming up for you too. So now that we're safely in the lagoon, if you turn your attention back to the roadside, you'll see a small collection of restaurants right there, including the Harbour Restaurant that we saw earlier. Right beside the harbour is another favorite, Skipjacks. Skipjacks has a great sports bar where friends and I have congregated for years at happy hour to enjoy a few beers. They've also got a fresh fish market out front, and the restaurant is famous for its fresh lobster that you can pick straight from the tank. Just a few doors down, you'll find the next highest thing on my list, and that's gotta be pizza. And Pizza Galley does not disappoint. They make a variety of authentic Italian thin crust pizzas in any number of flavors, including Polynesian, jerk chicken, and even sushi pizza. The new Pizza Galley was just rebuilt fully from the ground up, and now includes the new dock waterfront bar right next door. Also right next door in that yellow building with the red roof is Paradise Found Realty, and that's run by my good friends Rodger and Corinne. I met them a few years ago when I was still doing real estate video, and we've been good friends ever since. Rodger's also quite a character who's got a history going back almost 30 or 40 years here in the islands, so I thought it'd be cool to stop in and have a visit with him and hear some of his stories. But, yeah, so Rodger, where did you start out? I mean, you were telling me it was like 30, 40 years ago, I think.
It was 1975, and I just spent 4 years in business college in upstate New York, and I just wanted to go to the Caribbean and dive for a couple of years. I lived on my boat over in the lagoon, right on the other side of the golf course. I had a 36-foot Egg Harbor power boat that I lived on. So one thing led to another. This guy comes down from Florida, a salesman, wants to sell me these T-shirts, sell in the dive shop. I go, he says, the line's called Caribbean Soul T-shirts. I go, I don't know, what's that all about? It's this by this singer, Jimmy Buffett. I'm from upstate New York. I never heard of Jimmy Buffett in my life. You know? He goes, yeah, he's getting really popular up in Florida, and we've got this line of T-shirts. And at that point, they're putting all the lyrics, you know, Cheeseburger in Paradise, Margaritaville, why don't we get drunk and screw, putting all the lyrics on the T-shirts. Yeah. So we put them in, I said, okay, I'll take a few dozen and try them. Well, they flew out the door. We sold everything out the first week because these divers were huge Jimmy Buffett fans, right? Oh, wow. So Jimmy Buffett's living over in St. Bart's on his boat called Euphoria 2. Yeah. So I said, I got to meet this guy, you know? So I go over there one day. Within the course of 2 days, I met my future ex-wife. I say with great affection, we were together for 23 years, and she introduced me to Jimmy one night. And I told Jimmy how well his T-shirts were selling over in St. Martin. And I said, who's selling your T-shirts here in St. Bart's? He goes, nobody. I said, what? Here you are, sitting on your boat, writing all these cool songs. He's written 2 books while on the boat already. And nobody's selling your T-shirts over there. So I said, we got to do something about that. So I opened up the Black Swan Boutique, and started selling Jimmy's T-shirts over there. And then one thing led to another. He got famous. He got rich. I sold a few Jimmy Buffett some gear, you know, for about 20 years. And at one point I had 5 stores selling his line of merchandise. So lots more where that came from, and Rodger even goes on to tell us where the song Cheeseburger in Paradise originated from. I'm sure some of you Buffett fans will get a kick out of some of these stories, and then we also will hear about his dive history and the wreck of the Black Swan that started his whole career in diving down here in St. Martin. So if you'd like to see the whole interview and hear all the stories, just click on the link here or down in the video description, and it'll take you to the full interview. And we have some more portholes from the Black Swan. You can see the glass is all cracked. Solid brass portholes. And remember, I was saying that Rodger and Corinne's business now is Paradise Found Real Estate here in St. Martin, and they've got some cool listings like this one, Snoopy Island, the land of the MegaYachts. See that whole area behind the fence right there?
It's all available for a cool price of $45 million, and you can build a private resort or condominium complex or whatever your heart desires. But if that's a bit over the top for you, you see that mountain back there? Well, the whole top of the mountain is available also for $1.3 million, and you can build any house you want, and this will be your view every single day. So that's it for part 1 of the Simpson Bay area, but be sure and keep an eye out for part 2. Next episode is going to cover everything around 2 of what are likely the most cool marinas in the Caribbean, and all the services, features, attractions that are in close proximity to both marinas.